What's up? What's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And today we're going to be talking about a mistrial that is almost, maybe, possibly going to happen tomorrow. Now, there has been so many motions of mistrial in this YSL case, and there has been a lot of deny, and it seems like it was never going to happen until today. Now, I'm going to bring you guys up to speed on the goings-ons that's goings on and let y'all know what happened. So basically, there is this guy by the name of SlimeLife Shorty. Now, SlimeLife Shorty is a person who grew up in the same neighborhood as a lot of the YSL members. He was born and raised there. He lived there, grew up there, and then he started to do music. Now, SlimeLife Shorty took the stand today, and basically what they were attempting to do was connect SlimeLife Shorty to Little Rod. Now, Little Rod is a very, very young youngster in the case. He's the youngest one amongst the defendants. And right now in the YSL trial, they are focusing on a situation where Little Rod, where he was alleged to have committed the pew and unalived somebody, and they are trying to connect him to YSL. Now, without SlimeLife Shorty, they really don't have a link that links Little Rod officially to YSL. Now, they had some type of conversation, and it was basically trying to figure out if Little Rod is really truly YSL or not, and SlimeLife Shorty seems to know him, have a conversation with him, ask him who stamped him into YSL, and so much more. Well, if they were able to establish that Little Rod was in fact a part of YSL, and they're able to prove it through SlimeLife Shorty's testimony, then Little Rod's conviction of M-word individual would go into this whole RICO act against the defendants and all of the things. Now, what happened was he took the stand, and when he first got on the stand, they made him, or the prosecution team basically made him identify all of the YSL members. They wanted them to, and they wanted him to point out who was who. Now, we have not seen them do that with any of the witnesses in a very long time. So that was a clear indicator that this witness was important in trying to link certain individuals together. They made him go through each and every defendant and talk about whether he knew them or not, because the intention is to link Little Rod to him, which would put Little Rod in YSL and confirm that the unaliving that Little Rod did, it will reflect on YSL if they are able to prove that he was guilty of that, which he already had a prior conviction of it in another trial. Now, what ended up happening was, while he was on the stand, after the state's attorney wanted him to name each individual and each defendant and point them out and say what article of clothing they have, which they have not been doing that with the witnesses. So this was a big one. Then they wanted him to say what he knew them as by their nicknames and what he knew them as far as length of time in the neighborhood. They wanted to then know what his relationship status was with each defendant as well. When was the last time you talked to this defendant? Are you guys still cool? Are you guys still friends? You know, things like that. Like, oh, when was the last time you talked to them? And so the first slip up was them asking, I believe it was, I'm not sure if it was Quay or Shannon, but one of them, he was like, oh, I ain't talked to him since he been locked up. So he mentions that, and clearly that was the thing that got the first one of the detectives kicked off of being able to testify, basically saying that, you know, somebody was locked up. They're not supposed to say that any of the defendants are locked up, because to the jury, they're supposed to give the appearance that they're free. You know, they're free coming in and, you know, trying this case and all that. They're not supposed to know that they are currently locked up, because that would prejudice the defendants to the jury. So he first starts out with saying that. Then they go into talking about what was the next thing? Let me just pull it up. They basically start to have him read captions, okay? So they wanted him to read captions and tell what the picture, who's in the picture, what's in the caption, blah, 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 blah. So let's bring it up to the top of that part. Now, this isn't the full testimony, but this is just the moment in which they called for a mistrial. And then I'll bring it back to see his entire testimony.
I'm going to publish 37 NN. Who is in 37 NN?
OG Boo. OG Boo.
And who is that?
Shannon.
All right. And can you read for the jury the caption?
Read his caption.
Yes.
Said ain't nothing more compatible than a trench. A carbon while in the trenches.
And then is there a hashtag?
Hashtag no slime left behind. Hashtag 2Bs. Life size.
Okay. And is there another hashtag?
Free Quay.
Is there another hashtag on the screen?
Oh no.
Your Honor.
It's in this paper right
Your
here.
Honor.
You got me reading.
Your Honor, I have to make a motion.
All right, I'm going to excuse
I
you.
wasn't looking at the screen. I was looking at this paper.
That's fine, don't worry about it. Can I ask you to step outside for just a minute? And jury, I'll excuse you all for just a minute. Mr. Lee, can you step outside for a minute for me, please? Thank you.
All right, so right now is when they're going to then ask for a mistrial. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Shout out to the new member in the chat. And shout out to
Your Honor,
the
we're making
moderators.
a motion for a mistrial on behalf of Mr. Nichols. We're not going to be able to unring this bell. Your Honor, this is the exact same issue that while we were at the bench, I brought it up. It was Exhibit 37NN that the hashtag, there was a hashtag on that exhibit that said Free Quay, which would definitely indicate to the jury that Quay, you know, has spent time in jail or in prison. The state agreed. We stipulated that they would redact it. And then the state presented, I guess, to the witness the unredacted version, didn't prep him to not comment on it, and he did. And Your Honor, before we had the opportunity for you to preside over us, this happened already again. And before, and I made a motion for a mistrial. Now it's happened again. So now the jury has repeatedly heard about Mr. Nichols being in jail, being in prison, and you cannot unring that bell. We would ask for a mistrial.
Your Honor, Carter Matthews for Mr. Marquavius Huey. We join in that motion for mistrial. And what's important for this court to know is that 45 minutes ago, there had been a reference to a person being in jail. Now, this witness has identified Marquavius Huey and has also identified Marquavius Nichols. So all the state had to do was ask this honorable court for an opportunity to have this witness maybe step out of the courtroom and go over with that witness that, you know, we don't need to say anything about someone in jail, what have you. That did not happen before he went on the stand, nor after that first slip up by this witness. There may have even been a document right there on the witness stand that should have been pulled from the state of Georgia from that witness stand so that this could have been avoided. So, Your Honor, we are joining in that motion as well.
Oh, hang on. It's all right. You just didn't know, but we'll let you know when to come back in, okay?
So we join in that motion, Your Honor.
Your Honor, and I just want to briefly add that it is painfully obvious that the state is not prepping their witnesses. You can tell by the way when the witness spoke the first time and he said, oops, am I not supposed to say that? Like, oh, I had no idea, which makes it obvious that the state had not spoke to him, had not prepped them, and this has happened repeatedly. It's happening over and over again, Your Honor, and we're just not going to be able to unring 100 bells.
And finally, Your Honor, Mr. Marquavius Huey, we all have, it's been established that that his nickname is Quay.
Okay, isn't there going to be, I mean, we talked today about, isn't there going to be a stipulation that references to Quay, at least at some points, are not either Mr. Nichols or Mr. Huey? I mean, we did.
Yes, Your Honor, and that's a few things. So one, Your Honor, it was not intentional because we clearly.
Okay, but it was sloppy because I presume he's reading from the document that you handed him instead of reading from the screen.
And we should have instructed him to read from the screen, but.
Or you should have presented him with a document that had that part redacted. It's just sloppy.
The issue came while he was on the stand, Your Honor. So the issue did not come prior to. Ms. Westmoreland walked up to me while he was on the stand and said, I'm going to have an issue with that. Can you redact it? That is when the state became aware.
Then it should have occurred to you, you know what, I'm handing him a hard copy of this document that is unredacted.
But not if there's multiple Quays, Your Honor. If I don't know which Quay that.
Hang on. Can we stop having people come in and out when I've asked the witness to step out and every time the door opens, they can hear what we're talking about? Please, just for a few seconds. I'm not asking anybody who's in here to leave. God have mercy, y'all. Huh?
The state is in charge of the witness, and they're supposed to be guiding the witness to the room.
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be.
And so that is the point in which we learned of it is we redacted it on here. Ms. Westmoreland brought it up here.
Yeah, and you didn't read it. I mean, so the jury didn't see it, but now the jury has heard it. I don't think it is really that, much of a crisis because there is going to be this stipulation that Quay is not always either of these defendants. So, nor is it obvious to everybody that free whomever is such a quote about who knows.
All right, so now she's going to try to say, oh, well, it's not obvious that free Quay means that the person is locked up. And then she's going to go on this rant about how it could potentially mean that, oh, somebody, like people say that when they're in a relationship or use it in Hollywood or some type of cap. But at the end of the day, this witness was not the same as any other witness that came on the stand. Any other witness that came on the stand, they have been asking them what is relevant to what they want them to say. They've been asking them, hey, you know, do you know Jeffrey? Do you know this person? Do you know this person? But today specifically, they made this witness go through each and every person and not only identify them by clothing that they were wearing, they also made him identify each defendant by which name they are called. So the jury heard him say, Marquavius Huey is Quay. We call him Quay. Then they heard them say Nichols is also Quay, and they made that be a very detailed part of his testimony. And so therefore, if he then says, oh, hashtag free Quay, no, it's not some Hollywood, maybe they're talking about some breakup or whatever cap that you're trying to make it be, and they argue against that, so let's hear it.
You know, everything these days. And so it doesn't necessarily indicate that whomever Quay is, Quay spent time in jail or in custody or in prison or anything. I mean, they say it about, you know, Hollywood stars who are in a breakup. I mean, it's not so obviously, oh, this must mean this person was in prison. But also, we were already saying Quay isn't either of these people. So let's just.
And to respond to Keyshawn said you have to identify them by clothing, LOL. Keyshawn, I've been watching the trial. I watch the trial every single day, okay? Every day I watch this trial. All the other witnesses, they have not been making them identify the people by clothing. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that they don't do that in certain trials. In this trial, that has not been what they've been doing with all of the prior witnesses. They have maybe did it like maybe once, twice. I could probably count on my hands the amount of times that they made somebody personally identify them by clothing. That has not been something that they have been doing in a very long time. So when this witness gets on the stand and this witness says, this person is Quay, they're wearing brown, this person is Yak Gotti, they're wearing this person is this person, they're wearing this is the nickname that we called them. They have not been doing that with the witnesses. So that was very significant, and the reason why this mistrial request was very significant as well. Let's continue to watch what the judge says.
And whether this was one of these people, or I don't even know who it did refer to.
And we don't know because it's not his post. He was reading someone else's post, so it could be a multitude of ways.
You talked to his attorney earlier, right?
Yes.
And did you get any kind of an indication? I don't know if this was one of the things you were gonna, but it's an issue now. And you said before lunch that you were gonna ask Mr. Rubin.
Yes, we did ask.
Do you know at this point whether the free Quay reference?
Shout out to
this
Steady
wasn't
Nash,
even his post,
who
was
is
it?
doing
It
awesome.
wasn't,
Hold on, wait.
and there wasn't an issue until Ms. Westmore.
I gotta pause and shout out Steady Nash, who is doing awesome trial coverage. Definitely go follow him. He is the GOAT in covering this trial. He is on it every single day. I be watching the trial every single day, and I be like, dang, he be on it. So shout out to Seti. If you want to come up, Seti, I'll open up the stream to have you come up, because I would definitely love to hear your input on today. I know you working on your video. I know you cooking up. I know you cooking up right now, but I would love to hear what you got to say.
So when I talked to Mr. Rubin at lunchtime,
I don't know if this was one of the things you were gonna, but it's an issue now. And you said before lunch that you were gonna ask Mr. Rubin.
Yes, we did ask.
Do you know at this point whether the free Quay referenced, this wasn't even his post, was it?
It wasn't, and there wasn't an issue until Ms. Westmore. So when I talked to Mr. Rubin at lunchtime, this wasn't something I was going to address with him because it wasn't I did not realize it was an issue. Mr. Rubin found out for me that Slack Quay is not either of these two Quays.
Okay, but this isn't Slack Quay, this is just Quay.
Right.
I know. So why doesn't everybody, well, they don't know how it's spelled, they only heard it. Why doesn't everybody just enter into some sort of a stipulation that the free Quay or the reference to Quay just now isn't either of these people?
I don't know if it is, so it was.
Whether it, okay, so,
Your Honor, the state can enter stipulation that we weren't referencing any, we as the state of Georgia.
okay, that is not a reference to, if you would prefer that.
I don't know what the poster is referencing. 'Cause-
I don't
but we-
honestly really care what the poster was referencing. What I'm trying to do is fix your sloppiness, so that everybody won't have wasted, 10, 12 months of their lives in this trial.
Yeah, we can agree. We can come up with this.
Okay, do it now.
I will give it to the defense.
Y'all work on that. I'm going to take 5 minutes.
All right, so as you see that, she tells them to work on that, and you see all the attorneys getting together to huddle up. Now, basically, what ends up happening, I didn't ever think that they would ever entertain a mistrial, none whatsoever. However, what they did here is she came back after, I want to say, I'm not sure how long we waited, but she came back and she alluded to the fact that she would be willing to entertain a mistrial. Now, all the while we were waiting to find out, is there going to be a mistrial? Is there not going to be a mistrial? I'm in the chat of Law and Crime, and I'm like, there's no way in heck she's going to grant a mistrial. I'm like, there has been so much Brady violation, so many prosecutorial misconduct things that have happened that they didn't, grant a mistrial on. But this particular incident, she is now saying that she was willing to entertain a mistrial. Now, if you guys have been watching the trial, you can see the judge's demeanor from when she first took the case to what her demeanor has been these last few weeks. The last few weeks, time and time again, after the prosecution is doing F up after F up after F up, her demeanor, all the unnecessary laughing, all the unnecessary chuckling, all the BS comments where she's acting all chipper and it's just out of place and it feels weird. She has been showing that she has been getting thin skin when it comes to the state, this case, and she has been letting them know that they are walking on eggshells when it comes to presenting this case, putting forth the proper motions in this case, narrowing down the case, and putting in the pertinent witnesses and putting in the pertinent things. So when she came back and she said that she was going to possibly entertain a mistrial, in my opinion, I'm going to play it and then I'm going to tell you my opinion. Hold on.
Your Honor, I believe that we were goaded into the mistrial.
Okay, well, I do not believe that, because if you had seen Ms. Hilton's face when that came out of the witness's mouth, she was appalled. And I do not believe that they are purposefully trying to insert error into this trial to make y'all ask for a mistrial so that they can try this case again. I think it is continued, and I am sorry, y'all have, this gigantic, ginormous universe of evidence that maybe if you narrowed down, you would not be making these kinds of mistakes, but I believe that to be a mistake.
Your Honor,
So I'm going to deny a motion for a mistrial with prejudice. That one, I don't believe that the facts bear out. Would you like a mistrial without prejudice?
yes.
You would? Who else would? That means, of course, that the state would be free to try every one of y'all again.
Judge, just a moment.
Sure.
So right here, she's basically putting the ball in their court. She basically was like, so I'm not going to entertain a mistrial with prejudice, but which one of y'all want a mistrial without prejudice? And we can come back and do this all over again. Now, when she came back, we were literally waiting in the chat, and we were waiting for a very long time. Like, in between her coming and saying that, and in between her coming and asking which one of them want the mistrial, we were waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm like, wait a minute. They were only supposed to be on break for 10 minutes. Now we're sitting here, we're waiting for 30 minutes. Now it's an hour. Now it's an hour and a half. Oh my God. Are they really considering a mistrial? Is she really going to grant a mistrial? Then there started to be chatter on Twitter that she had dismissed the jurors for a day, for the rest of the day. And then when she finally came back almost 2 hours later, she was livid. She was pissed. And she said, you know what? We are dismissing for the day altogether. So what this tells me, and in my opinion, I feel like if she grants a mistrial, which it looks like it's highly possible, I don't think it was for the fact of the case messing up. I mean, the state messing up. The state has been messing up. They have been doing Brady violations. They have been doing clear prosecutorial misconduct. They have been trying this case by happenstance and trying it as they go. Okay? And they have been doing slip-ups where they have to do curative instruction after curative instruction after curative instruction after curative instruction. I think that if she grants a mistrial, it's to save her own ass, because she clearly stated on the record that she was trying to save the state's sloppiness. And she said on the record that she was willing to lie to the jury and act as though she don't know which Quay it was, just to save the state. And for me, I'm like, hold on, wait. As a judge, you just supposed to be causing balls and strikes. You're just supposed to be the referee, okay? And we've clearly been watching this trial, and we've clearly been seeing her save the state time and time and time again. And after each time they motioned for a mistrial, there was never no mistrial granted. But the time where she gets so pissed off, and I believe that was not meant to say. I don't think that she meant to say that on the record. And if there is a mistrial granted, I believe it's to save her own ass at the end of the day, because she clearly put whatever, y'all know what the hell I'm trying to say. She clearly put that on the record, which shows that she's not granting these motions out of being fair. She's granting or denying these motions just simply because we've spent a lot of time on this, and not because they have broken a legal law that needs to be rectified. So I believe if she grants a mistrial tomorrow, which is highly likely, it looks like it may happen, it's to save her own tail. Talking about, I don't care which Quay it is. Let's just say it's not the Quay, and that'll save it. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you're saying that you're willing to lie to the jury just so that you can help the state out? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're putting on the record? And I believe, if anything, that is the reason. Now, I was watching another stream where one of the lawyers said that there was the defense attorneys. Now, I don't know if not, but I was watching the lead attorney, my op child. I watched his channel for a little bit. And one of the attorneys, y'all know that's my op. But anyways, one of the attorneys who goes up against Fani Willis, she said that she had word that the defense attorneys was in the DA's office as of like an hour ago or whatever, and they said that they think that means that they might possibly be entertaining plea deals. So tomorrow is going to be fireworks, okay? It is going to be clear fireworks tomorrow. I think that it's highly possible that a mistrial can happen. If you guys have not been watching this YSL trial, if y'all have not been paying attention, I'm going to say tomorrow, let that be the day that you pay attention. And they are expected back. One of the girls who was in court today, her name is, I'm not a lawyer, but she has also been covering this trial. She said that they were asked to come back at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So if they on Eastern time, so y'all definitely check out the trial tomorrow, because I believe it's gonna go down. When the judge came back and she basically mentioned that when she came back and she mentioned that they were totally done for the day, she was livid. Okay, she had it up to here, and I believe she was trying to save her own tail. So I want to know what y'all got to say about it. I'm gonna open up the stream. You said, okay, so let me respond to Robert. You said, if they don't know what Quay it is, how can you call it a lie? Because she was saying that she was willing to not care which Quay it was, and she was willing to, for the sake of saving them, say that it was the other one. So that would mean a lie, right? If you're saying, somebody's saying, if Ms. Silva said court will resume at noon tomorrow, who said that? Who said that? I don't know if there ain't. All I know is the girl who was in court today, she said that the judge said something about coming at 9 for the jury. So I don't really know. But my phone is gonna be on and waiting, starting at 9. So, anyways, yeah. So that's a clear lie. Like, instead of trying to figure out which Quay it is to make the right call, after the judge clearly, or after the witness clearly identified 2 Quays and said each one is in the courtroom, that's clearly what that is. Let me bring it back for you.
No, because it's not his post. He was reading someone else's post, so it could be a multitude of Quays.
You talked to his attorney earlier, right?
Yes.
And did you get any kind of an indication? I don't know if this was one of the things you were going to, but it's an issue now. And you said before lunch that you were going to ask Mr. Rubin.
Yes, we did ask.
Do you know at this point whether the free Quay referenced, this wasn't even his post, was it?
It wasn't, and it wasn't an issue until Ms. West. So when I talked to Mr. Rubin at lunchtime, this wasn't something I was going to address with him because it wasn't I did not realize it was an issue. Mr. Rubin found out for me that Slat Quay is not either of these 2 Quays.
Okay, but this isn't Slat Quay. This is just Quay.
Right.
I know. So why doesn't everybody, well, they don't know how it's spelled. They only heard it. Why doesn't everybody just enter into some sort of a stipulation that the free Quay or the reference to Quay just now isn't either of these people?
All right. So let me pause you right there. You hear what she said? They don't know how it's spelled. They only heard it. Because the spelling is key. The spelling of the Quay, how each person spells Quay, tells you which Quay it is. So the one Quay that it was spelled like was the Quay that was in the courtroom. So then she goes on to say, I'm trying to help y'all out by just saying that it ain't that Quay. let me bring that part back just a little bit. The spelling is key because the way that it's spelled is for one of the defendants that's in that courtroom.
Why doesn't everybody, well, they don't know how it's spelled, they only heard it. Why doesn't everybody just enter into some sort of a stipulation that the free Quay or the reference to Quay just now isn't either of these people?
I don't know if it is, so it was.
Whether it, okay, so.
Your Honor, the state can enter stipulation that we weren't referencing any, we as the state of Georgia.
Okay, that is not a reference to, if you would prefer that.
I don't know what the poster is referencing.
I don't honestly really care what the poster was referencing. What I'm trying to do is fix your sloppiness so that everybody won't have wasted, 10, 12 months of their lives in this trial.
Yeah, we can agree. We can come up with this.
Okay, do it now.
I will give it to the bank.
All right. So, let's go back to the top and let's see SlimeLife Shorty's testimony from the top of the top, because I don't know if he was really willing to get into some things. Now, if you guys are not aware of who SlimeLife Shorty is, I wasn't aware of who he was until today. PF, I'm not about to keep going back and forth with you. You ain't slow. You're acting obtuse on purpose, and it's gonna only irritate. Okay? It's gonna only irritate. Because I clearly said what I was saying. And why that was important. Or with you. And clearly. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm about to open up the chat in a second, but hold on one second. One second. Oh, I think it's right here. There we go. My bad. All right, so let's get into it. Let's look back at the testimony, and then I will open up the stream for y'all to chime in on what y'all think. So let's see his whole testimony, which wasn't that long. So let's see that, and then we'll get into some things. Okay, this is where he takes the stand.
Lee, W-U-N-I-E, last name Lee, L-E-E.
And good afternoon. How old are you?
25.
And are you employed?
Yes.
What do you do for work?
Music.
And when you say you do music, what do you mean?
I make music.
What type of music do you make?
Hip hop.
Do you have a name that you perform under?
SlimeLife Shorty.
And are you signed to a record label?
Yes.
What label?
Alamo Records.
And when did you first sign to Alamo Records?
2018.
And I should ask, how long have you been in the music industry?
Since then.
Since 2018. Have you been signed to any other label besides Alamo?
No.
Where are you from originally?
Atlanta.
And what part of Atlanta?
Southside. Cleveland Avenue.
And did you go to school?
Yes.
Where did you go to school? Elementary, middle, and if you went to high school?
Cleveland Avenue Elementary School. You said middle school too?
Yes, sir.
Crawford Lawn Middle School.
Okay.
And Carver High School.
Carver?
Yeah, Carver High School.
Carver. After leaving high school, is that when you started your music career?
During high school, like my last year in high school, or like 11th grade or something. I didn't get serious till after high school though.
You said you didn't get serious until after high school?
Yeah.
And that was around that 2018 year we just talked about?
Yeah.
Okay. As you were growing up in the Cleveland Avenue area, did you ever hear of a gang called Rock Crew?
I heard of it growing up. I didn't know if it was a gang or what it was, but yeah, I know what it is.
And how did you know about Rock Crew?
Because they had popular songs.
What were some of their songs that they had that were popular?
I don't know by heart right now.
Okay.
I just knew like there was the music back then.
Do you know who were some of the artists who were with Rock Crew?
One of them, Big Boo.
And was he performing as a hip hop artist?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
It was some younger
Not
people
y'all
too.
calling him a
Like my
reindeer in the
friends and stuff.
chat.
Who are some of the younger people?
They locked up or dead.
Do you have names of some of those individuals?
Let me see. My partners who locked up right now, Twin, they used to rap.
Do you know their given name or
Their first and last name?
or their first name?
Nah.
Anyone else outside of Twin?
Rudy. He rapped too back then when we was younger.
Anyone else you can think of?
As of right now, yeah, that's it, I think.
Now, you just spoke about Big Boo. Did you know his given name?
His real name? No.
Okay. And did you have your own personal relationship with Big Boo?
Yeah, when I got older.
Now, did there come a time when you were younger that some members of Rock Crew began calling themselves YSL?
Mm-hmm.
You said, mm-hmm?
You asking me that? Or you what?
I'm asking you.
Can you say it again?
Sure. As you got older, were there members of Rock Crew who then became members of YSL?
Yes.
Who were those some of those individuals?
Everybody, because YSL music took off and rock crew music died, or just, I don't know. Boo got old, so I don't know.
So who are some of these people? You're saying everybody. So who's the everybody who was a part of the music?
Basically, everybody from my neighborhood.
So everybody from your neighborhood was doing music?
There's a lot of people from doing music from my neighborhood, though, but not everybody was doing music, though. I'm just saying, like, everybody in the whole all the people that were rapping or doing music or supported the music was on some YSL stuff now. Like, it wasn't rapping Rock Crew or under that name.
Okay. So tell me some of the people that we're talking about.
Me, myself.
Okay.
My friends who I just told you about. Jeffrey. I can't think of everybody's name.
And what does YSL stand for?
It has multiple meanings.
Okay. Tell me some of the meanings.
I say it has multiple meanings, definitions, or what it stands for.
So tell me some of the meanings.
Young stoner life, young slime life, young successful lifestyle. I think that's all I can remember right now.
So let's talk about young stoner life.
Mm-hmm.
When do you distinguish between young stoner life, young slime life, and young successful lifestyle?
You said when? Did I?
Yeah, how do you distinguish between the two? When do you use young stoner life versus young slime life?
Slime part is just like the lingo of it. Like, we would just call each other or something. You wouldn't call your friend or something like, Stoner, what's up, Stoner? We just say like, what's up, Slime or something. So that's how I think young slime life is used. Young stoner life, from what I know, was I'm just say like a way of life as far as music. I mean, not the music, but like getting high or like a hippie or I don't know.
And outside of the music, is YSL a gang?
You said outside of the music?
Yes, sir.
Some people treat it like that.
What do you treat it as?
I treated it that way before.
You treated it as a gang before?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you stop treating it as a gang?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
You said you don't remember. And when you say you treated it as a gang, what do you mean?
I don't really know. I never thought about that. I don't know how to answer that.
How old were you when you...
All right, so before they go to the next question, I'm going to pause him and I'm going to go over his plea deal because he did take a plea deal in this case. I tried to look it up on YouTube to see if I could find actual video of him taking his plea deal and all the things like that, but I wasn't able to like find the video. But there was articles made about his plea. And so basically what he pled to was a year commuted sentence and 9 years probation. But let me pull up the article. All right, I'll just pull up this Reddit real quick and then I'll find the actual article in a minute. But this Reddit basically talks about what was his plea deal. And other people on Twitter who were keeping up with it has also reported it when it happened in 2022 as well. So let me show you guys what it says and then we'll go back to his testimony. All right. So this person, Richard Fawcett, says, hi from Fulton County Court. Update on YSL case. After Gunna, rapper SlimeLife Shorty, a.k.a. Woonie Lee is in court today pleading guilty to a racketeering charge, admits that YSL is a gang, will get 1 year commuted to time served, and should be out of jail soon after 9 months. So he served some time in jail. He took his plea after Gunna, and it also stated that in addition to him having to acknowledge as a part of his plea deal that YSL was a gang, there was another article that I had looked up. Hold on. It was from the Atlanta Journal. What happened to that? Hold on. Let me see if I could pull up Gunna's plea deal and see if he comes after on the stream. I'm trying to see the actual stream to see if he comes up, because they say it's the same time that Gunna took his plea. Plea deal. If not, we'll just move on. I'm trying to find the actual stream. I'll find that for another video.
Mr. Sledge, again, good afternoon, sir.
So we know why RICO was started. It was started for the mob, and saying free
the defendants, Bobby Schmurda.
Well, this don't.
I have some legal advice. Don't confess to crime on
Okay,
rap
I can't
lyrics
find it
if
right
you don't
this
want them
second.
used,
I had
or
some
at least get out of
articles
my
pulled
county.
up.
By the way, Mina.
Child, anyways, let's get back to his testimony. I'll look it up on my I'll look it up on my phone while I'm watching this with y'all.
Joined YSL the gang.
Can you tell me what you mean by like join? Like, are you talking about?
What would you consider joining?
I'm saying, like, do you mean join, like, because, you know, like, to get in the gang, you join the gang, like, you get beat up or something like that.
How did you become a member of YSL?
My music got popping, and I became a known face in my neighborhood, and I started coming around and going to studios and stuff.
So was that how you became a part of the gang YSL, or that's how you became affiliated with the music of YSL?
I'm gonna say that's how I became affiliate of the music of YSL. But as far as joining a gang or something like that, I never like joined. We just all grew up together. There was no time to join or when I joined. We just all know each other from school and grew up together and stuff like that. But I mean, I came around like 2019 or 18, one of those years, when I came around as far as like officially being YSL.
How do you become officially YSL?
Just coming around more and rapping.
Is everyone that is affiliated with, and I'm talking specifically the gang YSL, rappers?
Some people.
So, but not everyone?
Some people rap. A lot of people rap, but everybody doesn't take it serious. Some people just rap just because they want to rap, because they want to follow the trend.
I definitely understand that, but I want to ask specifically, is everyone who's a part of YSL a gang trying to rap or rappers?
Can you say it again?
Sure. Is everyone who is a part of YSL the gang rapping or try to be rappers?
I don't know. I think so. Everybody try to rap.
All right, if you guys are not hitting the like button, definitely hit the like button right now. You can support the channel by sharing the video, hitting the like button, sending a super chat in the chat, or sending a cash app, and my cash app is on the screen. Let me see if we can up the quality a little bit to get better quality.
Is there anyone in YSL, the gang, who's not trying to rap?
Yeah. I think.
Now I'm going to ask if you know a few people, okay? Do you know Marquavius Huey?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you know him?
I didn't know his real name until this trial, but how do I know him? Me and his little brother went to school together. Me and his little brother was in the same class, and I always just knew he had a big brother named Quay.
And
And seen him a couple times, stuff like that.
And is that what you called him, Quay?
Yeah, I think that's what his name used to be back then.
Okay. And you said you went to school with his little brother. Do you know how old he is, Quay?
Quay, how old he is?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Did you ever used to hang out with Quay?
When?
At any time?
Not growing up. He came to the studio with me a couple times. That's it. We never hung out outside of the studio.
When did you start seeing him around the studio? About, if we're in 2024, how long ago was that?
I don't know. I can't remember the exact date.
And do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could just identify him by article of clothing he's wearing.
You said identify what?
Identify him by article of clothing he is wearing.
He next to the lawyer with the brown. I think he got on brown too.
Okay. Thank you. Your Honor, let the record reflect that he's identified Mr. Huey.
It'll say reflect.
Do you know another individual by the name of Quamarvius Nichols?
Yeah.
Or another Quay?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Is that yes?
Yes.
And how long have you known Quay?
I knew him longer, I think, since I was a kid. We didn't hang though, but I just knew who he was. I was younger than him though.
Okay. And do you have a friendship or a relationship with him?
Not a strong bond, but we know each other.
And do you see him here today?
No, actually. Oh yeah, I see him now.
And if you identify him as well?
I can't see what he got on. He just got the dreads up.
Okay.
In the air.
All right. Is he towards the back of the room, the front of the room, or somewhere
To the back.
else? Is he sitting in between anyone?
Yeah, I think his lawyer.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that he's identified.
It's really not, that could be a couple of different people.
There's two lawyers right there. He right there, and there's a lady next to him on the left side of him.
Your Honor, now let the record reflect.
All right, it'll say reflect.
Do you know someone named Shannon?
Yes.
And do you call him Shannon?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you call him anything else or just Shannon?
I think I just say Shannon.
No.
I don't know.
How long have you known Shannon?
I don't remember. I don't remember when I met him.
Is it longer than you've known Quay, the two Quays?
No.
Shorter than that?
Yeah.
And what is your relationship like, if any, with him?
Now?
Let's talk about before now.
Oh, we were cool.
Are you still cool now?
I don't know him right now. He been locked up for a couple of years. What, I ain't supposed to say that?
Disregard that.
All right. So you see how he says, "Oh, I don't know him right now. He been locked up." Then the DA is like, "Oop, oop," like telling him he ain't supposed to say that. And then he comes back and doubles down on trying to clarify whether or not he was supposed to be saying he was locked up or not. And so some people feel like he did it on purpose, being that just last week, there was a lead detective of this case who his entire testimony got stricken, and they declared, or they asked for a mistrial. They sanctioned the prosecution, and they got in a lot of trouble for him saying one of the members had just gotten out of prison. So now he's on the stand a week after that, and they're asking him what his relationship is like. And then he says, "Oh, I ain't talked to him, whatever, since he been locked up." And then he doubles down on it. So there are some people who feel like he did this on purpose, and some people think that, you know, he just didn't really know, because he's not supposed to be watching the trial. People who are subpoenaed and supposed to be testifying, they're not supposed to be watching the trial. But we all know they watching.
And just listen to the question that I ask you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you know someone by the name of Yak?
Yes.
How long?
I got a question.
Do you need to talk to your lawyer?
No, I'm just trying to see. I ain't supposed to say that or something.
Don't worry about it. Just move on to the next question.
All right.
How long have you known Yak?
I don't remember when I met him. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. Is it longer than you know any of these other people? The first three people I asked you about.
Not longer than I knew the Quays.
Okay.
I knew them when I was younger.
Okay.
I probably met Yak when I was about 18, 19, 18. When I started rapping seriously.
Next, Jeffrey Williams. How long have you known Mr. Williams?
Like the same thing as Yak.
Okay. And then Rodalius Ryan.
I've known him since a kid.
Are you older or younger than him?
Older.
Do you know how much older you are?
Not exactly. A couple of years though.
And do you have a nickname for him?
I can't hear you.
Do you have a nickname for him?
A nickname that I have for him?
Do you call him something?
Oh, Lil Rod.
What is your relationship like with, just generally, what is your relationship like? Good, bad, indifferent? What is your relationship like with Little Rod?
Right now?
Just period.
Oh, good relationship.
He like right now. No, dang, he was trying to say, "Oh, I ain't talked to him since he been locked up." He was about to say that again, but he didn't say it.
And do you see Shannon, Diamante, Jeffrey, and Rodalius in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Appreciate that. So that's stipulated too.
All right. Do you see Diamante? Just describe him by the article clothing he's wearing.
You said, do I see who?
Yak or Diamante.
Yeah.
What is he wearing?
Like a trench coat.
Is he sitting next to
A
him?
yellow, tan. I don't know what color that is, but a trench coat next to the lady.
All right. Y'all let the record reflect. Is he sitting between two ladies?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see the other lady right there.
Y'all let the record reflect that he's identified Diamante Kendrick.
Okay, the record will so reflect, and I don't know if jury, y'all been explained what a stipulation is. That just means everybody agrees, so you can accept that as a fact. That as to Mr. Stillwell, that this witness knows and can identify Mr. Stillwell.
Did you see Mr. Williams?
Your Honor, we'll join the stipulation.
All right. And so it is now, you can accept as fact that this witness knows and can identify Mr. Williams.
And then last, Mr. Ryan.
Yes.
Okay. And where is he seated and what is he?
In the front row. next to his lawyers.
All right. Your Honor, let the record reflect that he's identified. Is he sitting on the right side of his
Right
office?
side.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that he's identified Mr. Ryan.
We need to probably do a little bit better than that with the identification.
What is he wearing?
A suit.
All right, and so you can now accept this fact that this witness knows and can identify Mr. Ryan.
Thank you. All right, just a few more people. Do you know someone by the name of Trontavia Stevens?
Yes.
All right. And do you have a nickname for him?
Talking about Slug.
Is that what you called him?
Oh yeah.
All right. How long have you known Slug?
I don't know. Like 2018 or something, I think, when he got out.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
Do you know someone by the name of Darius Ford?
Yes, I do.
All right. And when he was living, how long had you known him?
Like all my life.
Did you all grow up together?
No.
How did you know him all your life?
My brother was best friends with his big brother.
Okay.
And they played sports together, so I always knew him when I was a little kid.
What about Christian McMiller?
What about him?
Do you know him?
Yes.
All right. And what you call him?
Christian,
Okay. How long had you known him?
since a kid.
And what about Durante Beebe?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
How did you know him?
We grew up together.
And then last, Demekion Garlington.
Who?
Demekion Garlington.
You asked me how long did I know him?
Do you know him?
I know him. Yeah, I know him.
And how do you know him?
I don't even know how I know him.
And does he have a nickname?
D.
Now, do you have any tattoos, Mr. Lee?
Yes.
And specifically, I want to ask, do you have any tattoos with the wording Rudy?
Yes.
Okay. And who is Rudy?
My little brother.
Is he your biological little brother or someone you call your little brother?
I just call him my little brother.
And your tattoo with Rudy, what, if anything, does it say?
Long live Rudy.
Long live Rudy.
Long live.
And within the Cleveland Avenue area, do some people call themselves the Rudy Gang?
You said there's some people who call themselves that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not really a gang though.
What's the significance? Tell the jury about a Rudy Gang.
His family made that for him. They're just showing that they for him. Like they doing it for him. I don't know. They just said gang.
Okay. All right. And so on this part of the testimony, I was in a live chat and I was like, okay, so basically what they're trying to do is establish that he knew, hold on one second. I was like, basically what they're trying to do is establish his link to Little Rod. So as you can see, I was watching it live. This is the live chat replay. There I go right there. And I said, it seems like they're establishing, and I meant to put that he is the link to make sense for Little Rod being a part of this RICO by association. So if you guys have been watching, Little Rod, he committed, or allegedly, he unalived this guy. He said that he was from YSL. But it really looked like, if you really look at the evidence, like he was just some kid that was false flagging. He looked like he was just, saying that he was from YSL because he was in the neighborhood. It didn't really appear that he really knew Jeffrey or he knew any of the main people in YSL. He was like this little like 14-year-old kid or 15-year-old kid at the time. And so I believe that they brung this guy in because he knows Little Rod, but he is the link that he knows Little Rod, and he also knows Young Thug, Yak Gotti, both of the Quays, and all of the defendants that are on trial right now. And so they needed him to establish that Little Rod was, in fact, a part of YSL. Before they were able to fully establish that, you know, some BS started happening and a mistrial was declared. But before we go on to the next part of this, I want to pull up his tweet that he posted when people were alleging that he was a snitch. So he took his plea deal, and in his plea deal, he basically agreed that YSL was a gang. And the judge even said, hey, if you go to school, we'll commute your, if you go to school, you get a degree or something like that in these 2 years, we will throw out much of your sentence. So let me pull that up first, and then we're going to get into the rest of the goings-ons that went on today. So this is the Atlanta Journal, and right here it says 2 more defendants entered guilty pleas on Friday and are expected to be released from jail ahead of the next month's RICO trial against alleged young SlimeLife members. Atlanta rapper SlimeLife Shorty, whose real name is Winnie Lee, pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act as a first offender. As part of his negotiated plea, Lee was sentenced to 10 years, with 1 year commuted to time served and 9 years of probation. Now, in this tweet that was posted on Twitter, they were doing live, hold on. They were doing live tweeting, and they were basically pointing out the fact that in addition to his plea, the judge was willing to throw out his thing. So hold on. It says Atlanta rapper SlimeLife Shorty, whose real name is Winnie Lee, pleaded guilty to 1 count conspiracy to violate the Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act as a first offender. Then here in the chat, it says after entering an Alford plea, he'll have 9 years probation and be under a curfew. Judge Glanville told Lee that he would suspend his probation early if he completes 2 years of college and earns a certificate or a degree of any kind. So they really didn't have no evidence against this boy. They didn't have any crimes to hold him to. They had his music, that he was a musical artist. They had his lyrics and an alleged, emoji that he was supposed to have sent a girl that was snitching on Little Rod. So a girl was snitching on Little Rod, and he was alleged to have sent her a rat emoji to allude that she was snitching or whatever. And so they had that or whatever as well. So it says, in addition, it says the rapper posted about being home and insists he isn't a snitch. With 4 people taking pleas, 24 remain in the case. The trial is set to begin with jury selection the first week of January. So he was one of the first 3 defendants to take a plea in this case, and he entered in an Alford plea, which means that he can maintain his innocence while agreeing to testify what was in his plea deal. And one of the things that was in his plea deal was the fact that he had to admit that YSL was a gang. Now let's look at what he said as it pertains to whether he is a snitch or not. Hold on, let me save the image. That'll be better. I'll put it up for y'all, and then we'll listen to some more. Okay, it's not dragging and dropping, so I'll just use this. All right, so it says the following. Let me move it over. So he posted and he said, "Yeah, I'm home. Ain't have to snitch to get here, dickhead. I admitted young SlimeLife was a gang because it ain't illegal for no group to be a gang. Look that up. That don't hurt nobody. Anybody could be a gang. Plus, the founder already admitted it, stupid. What I post to say if a founder admitted it? What I did was say, yes, it's a fact. People in YSL commit crimes like murder and etc. because I don't know nothing about that." So I guess he meant what I did not do was say that it was the fact that people committed murder or whatever. So this was posted back then. So now let's get back to his testimony and what he was testifying to by pointing out articles of clothing. They're wearing this person this, da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, they didn't get into the meat and potatoes of him actually snitching for real, but him just taking the stand is considered snitching. And he was giving up information, and I believe he was going to give up more.
Now, do you have social media?
Yeah.
And specifically, do you have Instagram?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. What is your IG handle?
SlimeLife Shorty.
How long have you had that Instagram handle?
I don't remember.
Okay.
When I made it, I don't know.
We're in 2024. Did you have it last year?
Yeah.
You know what, let me ask you a better question. From the time you got into the music industry in 2018, have you had that Instagram handle?
Yeah.
What is your primary purpose of using Instagram?
My primary purpose?
Let me move myself
just
over.
social media. I think I would have had an Instagram whether I rap or not. So just social media.
And have you used IG to post?
Shout out to Co-Kid in the chat. Co-Kid is also one of the people who I always see in Law and Crime chat. I be in the chat popping whatever I want to say, and Co-Kid be in the chat popping whatever he want to say. And I actually, if you are willing to come up on the stream and tell what you think about today's events, let me know. I'll drop the link to hear what you got to say, because I like to hear from people who are actually watching, paying attention, and are not biased to one side or another, like just calling it how it is. Co-Kid is one of those people who clearly sees that the state has evidence, but there are some mishaps along the way. So I would definitely want to hear Co-Kid speak and elaborate on some things if they're willing. I don't know if it's a girl or guy. I just assume it is.
Post photos?
Yes.
Have you used IG to direct message people?
Yes.
Have you been in group chats on IG?
Yes.
Right. Have you been in group chats or had DMs on IG with Jeffrey Williams?
Yes.
What was his Instagram name?
What is his Instagram name?
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey. I don't know. What's his Instagram name now? You said what was it then?
Yeah. When you were communicating with him using your IG, what?
I think it's the same. Thugger.
Is it Thugger or something else?
I think it's Thugger. I think that's his Instagram name right now.
Have you ever used the handle Thugger1?
I think. You said, have I ever used it?
Have you ever messaged him using that handle Thugger1?
Yeah, I think so.
Trontavious Stevens or Tick, did you ever IG him? Or direct message him?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Do you recall what his Instagram handle was?
I don't remember by heart.
Have you ever heard of the handle _1slug?
Yeah, that probably was it.
Christian McMiller, did you ever direct message him on Instagram?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Have you ever direct message the Instagram OE5?
Y'all say
or
Coke Kid
05E
bias.
and Drive Slim?
Ocean Drive Slim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Was that Christian McMiller?
Yeah.
All right. Darius Ford, did you ever IG or direct message him on Instagram?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me speed up the playback
And
a
was
little
his
bit so that we
Instagram
can kind of.
Real1_FR?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about Demikion Garlington? Did you ever direct message him on Instagram?
From what I've seen in the indictment, yeah. But I don't remember his Instagram, though.
Okay. And then Shannon Still, have you ever Instagram him or direct message him on Instagram? Excuse me.
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall sitting here what his Instagram handle was?
Not by heart.
Okay. Have you ever IG'd him on an Instagram handle, OG.BOOL?
Yeah, I think so.
Today, have you had the opportunity to look through or look at some of your Instagram records in preparation for your testimony today?
Yeah.
He definitely was gonna stick to what was on that plea deal paper.
Permission to approach, Your Honor. Okay.
And prior to this, Rico, he didn't have no record at all. He was the first offender, so he ain't trying to do no jail time at all. I think I seen Robert Bobby Halls in the Law and Crime chat too, if I'm not mistaken. I think that looks familiar. And it appears that Miss Love has been demoted to desk duty. It seems as though whenever they have to like confer with counsel and try to like figure out like what direction they want to continue going in, they don't go to her anymore. They used to go to her to confer. Now they be skipping over her and going to other attorneys, and it appears that she's only been filing motions and typing up motions and stuff like that. Like it seems like she has been benched to desk duty from what it appears. Now I don't know for a fact, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Okay. And were they the items associated with your Instagram account, SlimeLife.Shorty?
Yeah, from what these papers say.
Okay. And you're on this time say like Tinder states with 30 NN to 35 NNA. 30 NN and 30 NNA through 35 NN and 35 NNA into evidence.
Your Honor, may I approach briefly?
You may.
Let's see if it was.
Okay. And does that appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of you and the person standing next to you in 38 NN?
Yeah.
Let me slow it down.
And 39 NN. Do you recognize the individuals in that photograph? 39.
So this is where they start to get him to identify pictures.
And excuse me, is that a fair and accurate depiction of the people inside?
So this right here is when they start to have him identify Instagram posts. And what I found interesting was that he was normally when they have a witness on the stand, the witness is only, or what has been the standard, they have only been testifying to their own personal account. Today was the first time that I seen them enter into evidence post from somebody else's account and have the witness read off what the other person had on their account. So I'm like, how is he able to read what was posted by allegedly Shannon Stillwell on his account when that's not even his account? Like, this was the first time that I seen that. So there was a lot of first with this witness that I have not seen in a while, which let me know that he was a very, very key witness. He was very pivotal. Them instructing him to identify each person by their articles of clothing and identify what each person's nickname was very crucial. And I believe that they were going to tie Little Rod to him, which would link him back to YSL and would make the conviction of Little Rod unaliving fall on all of them if they were successful. So that was interesting. So let's keep watching. It's not much after this. It's going to be not too long after this where all heck breaks loose.
Of 39NN.
Can you repeat that?
Does that look or appears to be a fair and accurate depiction of the individuals inside of 39NN?
Yeah.
All right. Your Honor, this time the state would like to admit 36 through 39NN. And I'm going to first show you State's Exhibit 36NN.
In the chat, you said they've done that a lot, even with the tweets. I haven't seen that a lot. The time that I seen them do that was when Antonio Sledge was on the stand and he said, lie to your mama, lie to your kids, or whatever. And Jeffrey said, lie to your mama, lie to your kids. And then they were showing that before Antonio Sledge said it, there was other tweets that said it. So it made sense the reason why they were making him or showing him other people's tweets and stuff like that. I haven't seen regular practice of them. The way that they did it today was not how they've been doing it. I'm sorry.
Who is in this picture in 36NN?
Me and Shannon.
All right. And was this photo taken in October of 2020 or was this photo taken at a different time?
And this is Shannon with the Ugg boots.
I just see when they posted.
All right. And earlier we talked about Instagram pages. Is this Mr. Stillwell's Instagram page?
I think so.
All right. And can you read for the jury what the caption says?
Fuck the other side. Put them on TV about my dogs.
You got to slow down because the court reporter is taking it down.
Go ahead and read it. Just read it a little bit more slowly.
Let me put it on normal playback.
Fuck the other side. Put them on TVs about my dogs. Soldier reads bloody tea, Glock with beam about my dogs. Cause a scene about my dogs.
I'm not kidding. Let me enhance it.
I'm going too fast.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. Slow it down. I
Where
know
you
you want to
want me to
rap
go
it,
to?
but slow it down.
Where you want me to start at?
You can start from the beginning.
Say it again. F the other side. Put them on TVs about my dogs. Soldieries, bloody tees, Glocks with beams about my dogs. Clear the scene about my dog. If he F with them, you can't F with me. No, he is not my dog. That's it.
No, keep going. Keep reading the rest of it.
The rest of it is not my song.
Okay, so the first portion is your song.
Yeah.
All right. But I want you to read the rest of the post, though, for me.
And right here, him pausing and saying the rest of it is not my song, he has been prepped well by his attorney. Okay? He is under the guise that he's supposed to be sticking to what he put in that plea deal. And he's supposed to be sticking to his words, his statements. And so that let me know that he has an attorney. Number one, his attorney got him an Alfred plea, which is good. And not only that, but him pausing right there, like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to read no more because that's not my words, lets me know that he was prepped by his attorney that he's to stick to what's in that plea deal.
Even if our position ever come down to being back to back, that's just how we're gonna rock out against whoever with you.
All right. And are there some hashtags?
No slime left behind.
All right. And is that an emoji next to that hashtag?
It looked like a crazy emoji. I never seen that.
Okay. What's the next hashtag?
2 B's.
Do you know what that signifies?
Big business.
All right. And what else does the rest of it say?
Many more blessings and riches, I say.
And is someone tagged?
I don't know who that is. Oh, there's somebody who made some clothes.
All right.
Real feel. I don't know who that is.
Okay. And what else does the rest of the post say for the record?
Thank you for this exclusive ass hat and for this crazy ass one of none hoodie.
And then someone else tagged.
Somebody named Marilyn is totally responsible.
Okay. And when was this post posted?
2020.
All right. Now, the verse that you quoted, your verse, what song is that from?
Dang, I forget about it.
Thank you, Jay.
Dang, I don't even remember. Okay. I really don't. I think, is it What a Love at?
And was that a song that came out before 2020 or in 2020?
It probably came out in 2020.
Okay. And in looking at this picture, do you know where you and Mr. Stillwell were when you took it?
At the studio.
All right. And do you have a particular studio that you used to go to?
No.
Okay. Where was this studio located?
I can't remember by heart, but it looked like, geez. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I remember.
All right, that's fine. Of course, indulge for one moment.
They got poor Miss Love over there pushing paperwork.
What does no slime left behind mean?
Thank you, breadwinner.
I think that's just what it means. No slime left behind.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as 37 and admitted, excuse me.
Oh, that was my mixtape name. That's why he put the hashtag. He was supporting my mixtape.
Your mixtape was No Slime Left Behind.
Yes.
What made you name your mixtape No Slime Left Behind?
Like the No Child Left Behind thing that's, in school.
Okay.
I just named it that. No Slime Left Behind.
And when you were talking about slime, who were you referencing anyone particular?
No, not nobody in particular. No, I just wanted to be different. I just named it that.
We're going to publish 37 NN.
Here we go. This is what caused the mistrial.
Is in 37 NN.
OG Boo. OG Boo.
And who is that?
Shannon.
All right. And can you read for the jury the caption?
Read his caption.
Yes.
Said, ain't nothing more compatible than a trench. A carbon while in the trenches.
And then is there a hashtag?
Hashtag no slime left behind. Hashtag 2Bs. Life size.
Okay. And is there another hashtag?
Free Quay.
Is there another hashtag on the screen?
Oh, no.
Your Honor.
It's in this paper
Your
right
Honor.
here. You got me reading.
Your Honor, I have to make a motion.
All right, I'm going to excuse you.
I wasn't looking at the screen. I was looking at this paper.
That's fine, don't worry about it. Can I ask you to step outside for just a minute? And jury, I'll excuse you all for just a minute.
All right. And so that is what caused it all. And now the reason why this was a big deal for those of you guys who have not been watching is because the state keeps intentionally messing up. So basically the attorney for one of the defendants noticed that there was, on the paper version, it was not redacted. She went up to Miss Hilton and told her, hey, we're going to have an issue if he says free Quay because it's not redacted on that paper. And Hilton gave him the paper anyways, knowing that it wasn't redacted, and told him that it was okay for him to read off of the paper, to which he then reads free Quay, which they already knew that they were walking on eggshells at the mention of anybody being locked up, anybody being behind bars, or alluding to any type of bad character evidence for any of the defendants that is on trial. They were sanctioned. They were told that they are to prep their witnesses, and they were put on notice that they better run a tight ship as it pertains to any type of bad character evidence as far as them being locked up or anything like that being mentioned. And they sat here and gave him an unredacted paper to read off of, but then post a redacted version on the screen, and then tries to act surprised at the fact that he reads what's on his non-redacted paperwork, which the defense attorneys felt like they purposely did it, and they goaded them into a mistrial, and therefore they asked for a mistrial. The attorneys, as I showed you guys, where they basically said, listen, judge, I told her that that was going to be an issue, and she gave it to him anyways. And then you hear Hilton say, well, we don't know which Quay it is, and tried to brush it off like it was no big deal. After just last week, one of their lead detectives was forbidden to ever come back and testify in the trial because he made mention that one of the defendants was locked up, and his entire testimony was stricken from the record. His entire exhibits that was introduced through him was to be retracted and placed under seal. And they made a very big deal out of it. Now, the state was, crafty and putting up another expert to try to slip in what they got, what they didn't get in with him. But it was a big deal. And the judge was putting them on notice that they better run a tighter ship and get it together for them to now have this situation come up again, to where he first mentions, oh, this person was locked up. And then he reads an unredacted form that they admit they already had gotten notice that that was going to be an issue, and still gave it to the defendant anyways. It's like, at some point, you can't keep ignoring the clear prosecutorial misconduct of these prosecutors. But I didn't think that there would ever be a day that she would actually truly entertain the possibility of a mistrial happening unless it was a juror issue. In my mind, I'm thinking there has been so much going on that would show that there needs to be a mistrial, that she's not going to do it unless it's going to be something egregious with one of the jurors. They, another one moves out of state. One, God forbid something tragic happens or whatever. I'm like, there's no way she's going to end this trial unless there's a juror issue. And then today was the first time she acted as if she would entertain it. Now, I don't know if she was like, oh, who else wants to join in on the mistrial to call their bluff, and they bit back. I really don't know. A part of me feels like she was calling their bluff by being like, who else wants the mistrial? I don't feel like she really thought that they really were going to bite down and say, yeah, we all want a mistrial. But at the end of the day, she was covering her tail. And for her to come back and, just say, like, we're done for the day, I believe she had a lot of pressures from all sides. Number one, she has to deal with, her bosses. Now, she's a judge in this case, but she is not the top judge. She has a boss. So they want this case to go through. So therefore, she has to, before she just totally declares a mistrial, she has to confer with her bosses. And there is the fact that the the DA's office wants this trial to go through, because if there is a mistrial at the fault of the state, it's highly possible that they won't be able to retry Jeffrey because he has a speedy trial demand. So there's so many things going on, so many pressures. She got her bosses, I'm sure, I don't know for a fact, but I'm going to assume, that are in her ear. Then what's looming with all of this stuff. And I believe she was like, you know what? I'm going to call it a day. They, you know, I asked them, did they want a mistrial? And they actually bit and said, yeah, we do. And so now she's backed into a corner, to which now she is going to come back tomorrow, and we'll hear more. Now, one of the women, I believe somebody has said, Infamous Sylvia said that she said that there was not going to be any jurors for tomorrow. And then there was another person who was in the courtroom, I'm not a lawyer, but who said that the jurors were asked to come back at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So I really don't know what's tea. I'm not there. So I really don't know who telling the truth, who got misinformation, who got the real information. But two people that were inside the courtroom have conflicting reports. One person says that Love was blaming Wooney Lee and she was getting erratic and she was furious. And then another person who was also in the courtroom says that they didn't see any odd behavior from Miss Love, and that, you know, she just was tuned in to what was going on and attentive, and she wasn't really acting any type of crazy. So I don't know. Sometimes people add fluff to things. Sometimes, you know, people see things that other people don't. I really don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tune in tomorrow, and I'm going to be checking all day to see what they say. You said at first they were supposed to come back at 9, then it changed. Okay. Either way it goes, I'm gonna be checking to see what the deal is. But if any of you guys want to come up and you have any thoughts on this, what do you think is going to happen? Because she very well could go home, re-look at it, talk to her bosses, and say, I'm not declaring it, because her bosses prevent her from doing so, and say, you know what, I'm not going to grant the mistrial. I'm not going to go forward with it. Or she could grant it. What do you guys think will happen? Another attorney that was on the lead attorney's stream, she said that after court wrapped up, all of the defense attorneys was at DA Fannie Willis's office, which is the district attorney's office, and possibly going over plea deals. Now, there's a lot of information floating around. Some may be true, some may not true. I don't know. It's not my firsthand knowledge, but I'm just sharing the chatter that I seen around the internet about what is possibly looming for tomorrow. But if there is anybody who wants to click the link and come up on StreamYard, you won't be on camera, but you can voice your opinion. Press 1 so that I know to drop the StreamYard link. If not, then we'll end the stream there. And I'll see y'all later. You know, I'm going to make a dedicated video for this. Nick, what is the date of that Instagram post? Because it's obvious the jury that they've all been indicted and arrested. That comment doesn't indicate he's still in custody. Even though it's obvious that we know that they're arrested, and it's obvious that they've been locked up for some time, the jury is not supposed to know that. So whether we know it or not doesn't really mean anything, because they're not supposed to know that. You know what I mean? Like, even if something is obvious, like, it's obvious to me that they've definitely seen parts of this trial, because it's been covered all over social media, and it's crazy for them not to have seen anything. But they're still not supposed to have seen it, and they're not supposed to know these things, even though, yeah, it's obvious, they're not supposed to know it. So I'll drop the link in the chat, and I'll let Unforgettable come up, and anybody else who wants to chime in, y'all let me know. But I'm interested to see how it goes. I know I was on pins and needles waiting, to try to figure out what they was about to do next and what was about to happen. So I'm very curious to see what happens tomorrow. I will not be shocked if she says, you know what? I ain't declaring it. We just gonna give a curative instruction. If she grants it, my jaw would literally drop. My jaw would literally drop. My jaw would literally drop. I would literally be like, oh, what? Hey, girl, what's your thoughts?
Hey, so what's gonna happen to Woody or whatever his name is? Does that mean he's gonna go to jail?
If they're able to prove that he committed perjury, then they could request for his immunity deal to be or they could request for jail time for penalty of perjury if they're able to prove it. But I think that for Woody, they would need the trial to end in like a guilty, like if they take plea deals and they all plead guilty and say, okay, we'll take time served, then that would be making their assertions true, right? So if they say tomorrow, okay, we're gonna plead guilty, we're going to agree to time served, then that would mean all of the statements, all of their assertions are true, and therefore they can then at that point prove that Woody has said contradictory things, because they called Woody out on the stand and they told him, you do know that perjury is not a part of your immunity deal. And he was like, perjury? I don't even know what perjury is. And they pointed out times where he answered the questions differently to the state. If they are out for blood and they want to go after him, if they get guilty verdicts, they can. Now, whether the judge is going to agree or grant it is one thing, but they can try to get him for perjury for sure. But I think to get him for perjury, they have to prove the statements to be true first.
Okay. All right. And do you think that the state did this all intentional? Because they've been fumbling since.
I think that so far they haven't had any real repercussions. So the most that the judge does is perform and does this performative charade like she's so mad at them, and she doesn't really punish them. The first time that we seen her actually truly punish them, because them having to watch a training isn't really punishment. But the first time that we actually seen her like really punish them and stick it to them was when she threw out Detective Dennis's entire testimony and sanctioned them. Up until that point, they have been able to do Brady violations. They have been able to do late discovery. They have been able to do whatever they want. All they had to do was take a little lashing from the judge and do whatever they want. So do I think they did it on purpose? I feel like they felt like they could do whatever they want. And then two, they are not narrowing this case down to focus on the specifics.
So does that mean that YSL, whatever that one that's on trial now, will he be able to go free now?
Who?
The one that the main culprit. I done lost my train of thought. The one that Woody was testifying against, or saying that, he lied and that he hates that all this happened to him. Will he be able to go free now?
You talking about Young Thug?
Yes, that's him. Yeah.
Okay, so there's different mistrials, right? So if they do a mistrial and the judge deems that they're able to retry the case, then that doesn't necessarily mean that he'll go free. Like, normally what they do is keep them in jail until the next trial. That's what they're doing with YNW Melly. There was a mistrial in the case, and they still have been keeping Melly in jail up until his next trial, which isn't until the fall of next year. So I believe that depending on the type of mistrial, they would still keep them in jail. Now, if they did a mistrial and they entered in a plea deal and they stipulated, hey, we're going to agree that we let you out, then he'll get let out if that's a part of their agreement. But it all depends on what type of mistrial she declares and what stipulations she puts into that mistrial. Because she could stipulate, okay, we're going to stipulate with them being able to retry you guys within a week. Or she could, you know what I mean? Because I think they only have like a week to retry it if the state is at fault or something like that. So it depends on how she lays out the facts tomorrow.
Okay, well, in my opinion, I feel like the state did it on purpose.
They probably did. But that's because they feel like they could do whatever they want. They're not being held accountable, so they feel like they could do whatever they want.
And what happened to the judge that was taken off of it?
I really don't know. He was taken off the case, and I ain't heard nothing about him. I'm sure he's probably trying other cases, but I haven't heard nothing about it.
Okay. Well,
I
all
do
right,
know
Nick,
that that judge tried to sentence Brian Steele, which is Young Thug's attorney, to jail, and the Supreme Court reversed that judgment. So
well, I like your hair, Nick. You look so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well,
I
really haven't been following the case. I'll come on when you are, but I just I'm not into it. I had a lot of questions. I think Walt is kind of cute. I like the little. Yes, I said it.
You think Woody is cute?
Didn't he say his name was Wody or Woody? He cute to me.
Woody. You think he cute for real?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Wow. Bye, Nick. Have a good one, love.
All right, bye. Coke-Kid, it say your device not connected. You gotta connect your device. I don't know what's going on. All right, there we go. Hello? Hello? Are they talking? I don't hear nothing.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you. Hello? How you doing?
Yeah, what's up? How are you?
Hey, you a girl?
Nah.
You a boy?
I'm not a girl. I'm a man. What type of question is that? Are you a girl or a man? I'm a man. KOK stands for knockout kid.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Okay, so you've been in the chat for a long time. You've been covering this trial, watching it. What is your thoughts on today, and what do you think is going to happen?
Well, honestly, I don't know. I think I don't know to think if the state did it purposely or not. I would hate to think that they would do something like that purposely to cause a mistrial. Like all the taxpayer money, we on day 150. Like I would hate to think that they would do something like this purposely, but I don't know. You can't put nothing past Fulton County at this point. Like all this stuff going on. Everybody think they corrupted from Fanny down to everybody else. It just looks crazy.
Okay, so why did you say that you biased? Why people think that you biased?
I don't know why people. I think people don't really like to hear the truth.
Okay.
No, but I'm not biased. If I see that the state is doing something wrong, I'm gonna call it out. Like honestly, I don't even think One Elite should have been a part of this RICO. Like he doesn't even have a criminal past. If you read all of the indictment, everybody else has been arrested or convicted of crimes. He is the only one that has not even been charged with anything outside of the one count of RICO. If it's anybody that's innocent, it's him. How are you going to indict somebody over music and Instagram posts? I don't understand it. I think RICO laws suck and there's really no way to beat them.
You said the RICO sucks and what happened?
I say I think RICO laws are terrible and there's really no way to beat them the way that Georgia is using it against these defendants.
So
there's no way they could win.
What were you thinking? I'm
was
sorry
the
to
best
cut you
thing.
off. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I say I don't think there's any way they could win the way Georgia is using these RICO laws. The best thing for them probably would be a mistrial.
Okay. So you were watching from all day, right? So what did you think when he got on the stand and he first was like, oh, that was when he was locked up? Do you think he said that on purpose?
Honestly, I don't think he did it purposely. And the reason I don't think he did it purposely is because he is so petrified to go back to jail. I feel like the spirit of Moontunk is in that courthouse. Like he don't want to go back to jail, so he's not trying to make any mistakes. And that's why he asked her again. Well, he asked, did I do anything wrong? You could tell by the way he was answering the questions that he does not want to violate his plea deal, even though he's innocent, which I don't understand. If he would have fought this case, he would have won. If anybody would have won, it would have been him.
He would have won only if they would have got not guilty. Because if they prove RICO, then he would have violated the RICO Act and he would have went to jail.
All right, but isn't the laws of RICO that you need to have a pattern of racketeering, at least like 2 crimes, a pattern of racketeering in the past 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have any past convictions. He wasn't charged for nothing. He wasn't convicted of nothing. So what crimes are they putting against him? Overt acts on what? Instagram posts aren't crimes? Music is not crimes? I don't get it. I think he would have won, but that's just me.
Okay. So what do you think is going to happen tomorrow?
I don't know. I heard today is Fanny's birthday, by the way.
Oh, really?
Heard,
is that why they were saying in the chat, like, a mistrial on Fanny's birthday would be lovely? I was like, wait, I seen that, but I didn't know that it was actually her birthday. But I seen people saying that in the chat.
I heard today is her birthday. I don't think, matter of fact, I don't think that they're gonna grant this mistrial. For the simple fact, it's just you heard what Whitaker was saying. She don't want to grant mistrial because time wasted. I think people are in her ear about granting a mistrial. And if she do, she's probably being threatened. That lady probably will be trying tickets in Alaska if she grant a mistrial.
But I mean, I believe that she, up until today, I didn't think that it was possible for her to ever grant a mistrial. But her entertaining the idea and saying like, oh, I won't do it without prejudice, but do you want me to do it with prejudice? And her like throwing the ball back in their court in the way like she alluded like that she would go through with it. I was like, interesting. But then when she ended it and she was like pissed off and she was like, she was done for the day, that made me think that one of her bosses called her and put it in her ear that you can't grant a mistrial, so that she got to go back and weigh her options. That's kind of what I thought, but I'm like, it's still looming that it's a possibility. But, you know.
I think she be bluffing. How many times we seen her act like she gonna do this, act like she gonna do that, and then she just give them a pop on the wrist. You just said yourself, the only real the only thing she actually did to them was throw out Dennis' testimony.
Yeah.
The only real consequences they faced was Dennis' testimony being thrown out. And does it really matter that Dennis' testimony was thrown out if they just grabbed some other gang expert or that was a part of the whole operation planners? Do we really need Dennis' testimony? I don't know. Did it affect the case? It don't really seem like it did to me if she could testify to everything he was saying.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to grant a mistrial though. But then even if they do get found guilty, they already got rights for an appeal automatically. So this case is just a circus from the beginning. I see a lot of people making a lot of money off this case too. So the streamers are loving it. Everybody's loving the content that's coming out from it. But at the end of the day, there's people's lives on the line here.
Yeah.
No?
One thing I did see that was amongst the chatter was that if they do enter in a plea deal and Jeffrey enters in a plea deal and says, hey, you know, we'll chalk it up to time served, somebody was saying that would open him up to civil lawsuits. Like him pleading guilty and having guilty on his record for this would open him up for the victims to sue him civilly.
Yeah, I think I was in whoever's chat when somebody dropped that too.
Yeah.
You know, the crazy thing is, remember the bus driver from the Lil Wayne tour bus?
Uh-huh.
He already got a civil suit against Young Thug. I don't know how much it is, but I know it's some millions.
Yeah.
But
yeah. They brought that up when they was cross-examining him, like, don't you have a lawsuit right now, sir? Like, what's your incentive in testifying in this case? But go ahead, finish.
I don't think Still is going to allow Young Thug to take a plea deal. He been against that every time they ever offered it or even talked about offering it. He says, I am not taking a plea deal. Maybe today change something, but I don't think Still is going to allow him to do it. And I don't know. It's been chatter about Still might have that McDonald's video. That's why he be talking about it to every every witness that's on the stand.
He does bring up the McDonald's and if they, but I thought that he asked the detectives if they obtained the video from McDonald's and the detective said no.
One of them did say no, but then I could remember Sprinkle saying yes or something like that. I know it was a minute ago. I can't remember everything that was said verbatim, but he on that video for a reason. Matter of fact, the detective did say no.
Yeah, from my memory, because I've been watching it closely, and they asked the detective, does he have, or did he request? Because they spent quite some time on that. And then the detective was like, no, like we didn't get the footage.
If I could remember verbatim, him saying that every 15 days, like the recordings like start over or something like that. But I do remember him saying he didn't get the video though. which
Yeah.
is
I don't believe they have any video from McDonald's, but I think that they just was constantly like talking to him about that just to show like how incompetent he is.
all right. Let me ask you a question now.
Go ahead.
All right, up until this point, right? Say it wasn't a mistrial or a motion for a mistrial, and the case ended today. Who do you think would be winning?
I think that the defense would be winning, but I think that there would be. I don't think it would be a win for everybody. Even though I feel like Max Sharp does an amazing job and he's a really, really good attorney, at the end of the day, the facts are the facts, and that's what the jurors are supposed to go by. And I think that if anybody would have an issue, it would be Shannon.
Well, Shannon is not the only one charged for murder, though.
He's not the only one charged with murder, but they say Yak Gotti was also a part of it or whatever. But at this time, if it was to end today, it would be between Yak Gotti, Shannon. But Shannon, I mean, they haven't really spent a lot of time to prove, even though we seen Yak Gotti on the video right before it happened and all of that in the gas station. They have posted more evidence against Shannon as far as like the wiretaps, jail calls, different communications that he's had to allude that he had some involvement with Donovan Thomas situation, whether it had been Woody that killed him or Shannon that killed him. He has, to me, in my opinion, implicated himself a little bit in this with the evidence that they've shown. Now, Yak, we haven't heard wiretaps of him talking and saying as much. So ultimately, I would think that obviously like Shannon and Yak would be the two and maybe Little Rod, but we haven't even got all the way through Little Rod's guilt, like showing his guilt all the way. I don't think that they proved that Young Thug is like some Rico mob boss. I don't think that
they definitely haven't.
Yeah, they haven't proved that he's this ringleader. This is the crimes are in furtherance to get YSL notoriety. To me, they have not proven that. It just looks like at this point it's a bunch of hoodlums that grew up together and they've been thugging it in the streets, and committing crimes. So I think individually, if it was to end today, I think that if the jurors was really to look at the evidence and look over the evidence, I think that Shannon might have an issue out of all of them. But as we hear more testimony, Yak Gotti, Lil Rod, Shannon, Nichols is implicated in the next murder that we're supposed to hear about.
The Shamel Drinks murder?
Yeah, but we haven't heard that yet, so I can't use that at this point because we haven't heard about the Shamel Drinks murder yet. So that's why I would say Shannon and Yak and maybe Little Rod, but at this point in time, I don't think that Marquavius Huey, even though we see him thugging it inside the jail, I don't think that they would be able to convict him with the evidence that they have so far. Young Thug with the evidence that they have so far, I don't think. And who else? Who else is left?
But
you tell me what you think.
It's Nichols, it's the other Quay, Rod, Yak, Shannon, and Thug. That's what is that? The 6 that's on trial right now.
So if they were to end it today and it went to the jury without the defense giving their side, what would your prediction be?
I think Shannon would be in trouble too. He would probably be the only one that is clear evidence against. But then again, they would have to prove Rico. So no, the defense is winning. Maybe they proved that YSL is a gang already. I feel like they proved YSL is a gang already, but they didn't really prove the structure of it. Like they didn't prove enough yet, and I think this case is just too big to be a state case. This was definitely supposed to be a Fed case. There's no way in hell that this is a state case. I think that Fannie Willis or her office was promised something from somebody that if they convict these dudes and get a conviction for Trump and that Rico, they must have promised her office something. It's just too political to me to just be a state case. It's supposed to be a Fed case. I don't think they're winning. I don't think the prosecutors would win if the trial would have ended today. They didn't prove enough. They proved a little bit, but they didn't really prove structure. They didn't prove Young Thug sending hits or he even a big homie or nothing. They didn't prove nothing.
All right, Dose Double. What you think?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. Hey, I think Young Thug the leader. You know why? You know what make him the leader of that gang?
Right off the back. I don't mean to interrupt, but you're funny.
You know what make him the leader?
What?
His money.
Okay.
So when everybody be like, I don't see how Young Thug the leader, your money make you the leader anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So he got way more money than all of them. So that automatically make him the leader.
But they've
as far as
proven that Young Thug was not. He hasn't paid for their legal fees. He hasn't paid for their attorneys. He doesn't fund their lifestyle.
Yeah, he do. He fund their lifestyle. He got see. Look, the thing is, in my opinion, YSL to me would be the bigger gang in Atlanta. Why? Because of Young Thug. Young Thug got millions of dollars. So they got more resources than any of them other gangs out there. So when they need to do things, they can move around better because they got the money, they got the resources. Now, as far as all of them being found, I think the conspiracy is there. Conspiracy is one big story. It's mixed with lies and truth. So yeah, the conspiracy is there. They done proved that they're a gang. So I think count one been proven. As far as these overacts and everything, is what they did in their past and everything, that's up in the air. But conspiracy, that's most definitely there. You know, the conspiracy charge is the worst charge to catch. They ain't really got to prove that you like conspiracy to commit murder or any of that. They ain't got to prove that you really did it. That's how easy conspiracy hit you. They ain't got to have too much proof to hit you with a conspiracy. So they all catch and count one, for sure. Now, ain't no structure in the gang and all that like they some kind of 1970 Crip gang or none of that. They what they is. It's a hybrid situation. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, I just think the conspiracy is there. I ain't trying to be, oh man, I like Young Thug music, but man, come on, man. When you put that kind of stuff in the universe, it come back to you, man. It ain't no escaping that. I don't give a damn how much money you got. It always come back to you.
All right, so who do you
SlimeLife Shorty got on the stand. He know what he was doing. Anybody that's a part of YSL gonna go up there and play games. They gonna do that. Even if you tell them, I don't say that, don't say that. Oh, I ain't supposed to say that. Then they'll slide it in anyway. Anything to throw a wrench in the trial. Anything, whatever we got to do to get this. But I'm telling you now, if they do a mistrial, them boys is not getting released up out of there. They're going to run that back. Watch, and then they're going to start adding more people onto that list. They're not about to let 28, they did too much work to let 28 guys go because SlimeLife Shorty said free Quay. Yeah, all right. It sound good.
So what do you
Yeah, I'm about to
say
see,
to them?
but see, I'm in real life. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds good. It looks good for TV, but man, in real life, them boys is cooked in real time. Like when come on, you ain't about to be no conspiracy. 28 guys that's really gang members and that had charges before and them pled guilty to gang activity. All these guys, it's 28 of them, and they all about to get a mistrial because SlimeLife Shorty said free Quay. They about to really let them boys go because he said free Quay.
So what is
It ain't
your
even gonna
prediction?
happen.
Were you watching today?
Yeah, I was watching it when Wooney kept saying, "Oh, my bad. I ain't supposed to say that." Like, come on, silly. You know what time it is. But you about to come up there and play games too. You just about to play your game. They all play. If you ask me, they all play their own little game. And they trying to throw a wrench in the trial. That's fine. That's what they supposed to do. They members.
So
but I'm telling you now, they not never about to
been-
beat them people, man, at their own game. When you go in that courthouse, that's they shit.
All right, chill out on the curse words. But
I'm sorry.
so how often are you watching?
I've been watching from day one, to be honest with you.
Okay. So after seeing all of the mistrial requests and all of the denials, what did you think today when she threw it back to the defense and asking them if they and making it clear, well, I'm not going to do it without prejudice, but do you want me to do it with I'm not going to do it with prejudice, but do you want me to do a mistrial without prejudice? What did you think about that?
She just entertaining it. That's how I look at it. She just look. Them lawyers getting paid a lot of money. You got to throw them some kind of bone. I mean, come on. It's all to me, in my opinion, them boys is paying a lot of money for that defense. You got to throw them some kind of little bone. You have to. But it ain't about to be the mistrial bone, though.
What's your prediction for tomorrow?
They go keep it going. She go figure out a way to keep it going. She gonna do something to keep it going. I don't see them going into 150, 160, or however many days we in now. Then Mooney get up there talking about free Quay and this mistrial. I can't see it. I just can't see it. It's too much time and money invested in it to be. I can't see that.
Okay, but what about the fact that they've already been put on notice with Detective Dennis' testimony and him having his entire testimony stricken and them sanctioned for this to happen again a week later?
Yeah, but that's because they really, you know what I'm saying, Dennis got a little grudge. They all got grudges with Dennis and all that one thing. I get it, man. So she threw him that big bone, but she's not about to. You see that last time when Weinstein tried to get her to, who was on the stand and he tried to hit her with a mistrial?
I don't know. They've been asking for
the girl. I think it was the girl, or somebody was on. You remember? And she said something.
It was the black gang expert, whatever.
Yeah,
I think her
that's
name is
who it
Underwood or
was.
something.
Yeah, that's their angle to try to hit. Yeah. So, and she was like, "Nah, hold on, y'all doing too much, man. Come on, y'all. They trying their best because they know they lost the case. So that we got to get it thrown out somehow. Like, because this go to the door, conspiracy is there. If this go all the way to the door, guilty. Ain't no way, man. Ain't no way they not.
So
about
you
to
think
find
that all defendants will get the same guilty? You don't think that certain people will get guilty and certain people not? You think all defendants will get guilty?
They all catching count one. That's conspiracy to violate the RICO. A conspiracy to violate. We got to understand it's a conspiracy to violate the RICO. They all catching that. None of them beating that conspiracy charge. Now, all the other little whatever they got going on, whatever, but nobody's beating count one.
Not even Wani Lee. He ain't even got no criminal past.
Wani Lee pled guilty to count one. He got the first time offender for his count
right,
one.
I forgot.
In 10 years.
I'm saying
he got 10 years.
I'm saying if he fought it though, hypothetically speaking,
Click
if
the
he
link.
fought it.
I don't even know how to say your name. CH.
I don't know if Wani. He'd be on there. He'd be on that lineup with him. If he ain't took the plea deal, he'd be on the lineup with him.
If you think he don't know what he talking about, click the link. You ain't gonna be on camera. They said you don't know what you talking about, but they scared.
Hey, I know. I get it. I for sure know. I already know how it is. I mess with Young Thug. That's my dog. But man, the universe is the universe, man. You get what I'm saying? I most definitely get it. Ain't nobody about to agree with me on this. Nobody, and I 100% agree with it. You know what I'm saying?
I think the conspiracy is there also, but we was asking each other if it stopped today. But
conspiracy is one big story. That's how I look at that in a nutshell. Well, it's truth and lies mixed in it. That's what you get. That's how you get a conspiracy. Woody helped them whip one. When you tell truth and then you mix it with lies, that is a conspiracy. The police do it to you all the time. Hey, I wasn't gonna sell that. Well, it looked like you was about to sell it. Conspiracy.
Hey, this should
You're
be
right. We didn't catch you selling it, but you got it though, right? Yeah, I got it. So it looked like you was about to sell it. Now I wasn't gonna sell. That's for my use. Conspiracy, then like that.
All right, so we got the fact that you think that they all would have been guilty of count one. I don't agree. I don't think that they proved RICO, but
They proven conspiracy.
Outside
to
of
violate
that,
the RICO.
What is the next guilty or not guilty? Who else do you think, like, what is the prediction?
I think everybody be found guilty on count one.
What about the
That's
other
my
charges?
prediction.
Donovan Thomas murder, the stuff that's been
And you know
so
what?
far.
Now that right there, I think Young Thug, I think they won't find him to have no kind of involvement in that. That's to be the only best thing for him is not to tie him to no kind of murder. Because if they tie him to any kind of murder, he ain't never coming home.
He's not charged with the murder though.
I'm just saying, like, but they trying to put him in that Donovan Thomas. If the jury find him to be involved in any of that, then he ain't never coming home. If they get hit with count one, they looking at 20. All of them looking at 20.
Okay, we get past that. Then what? Who do you see being guilty of other things? All right, let's move count one. We got that. Now, what other people in the courtroom do you see clearly, like, all of them are guilty? This person, that person, from the evidence that has been shown so far?
I think everybody guilty of everything them people saying. Hey, look, but only one I think that ain't did that much, you know what I'm saying? They really putting the king honcho is Thug, but reason being they putting it on him like that because you the money man, bro.
He has not funded their life.
Yes, he has. You see that YSL pending on Lil Rod neck?
He bought that himself from the mall.
Fake.
Come
That's
on.
T-Move
You think
ice.
that was fake?
You know he bought that from the mall.
Y'all really think that was fake?
Yes, it looked fake to me.
Yeah, okay. Who else got the same pendant? Tick got one.
I think that Lil Rod was false flagging.
Huh?
I think Lil Rod was false flagging.
You think he was false flagging? Why would you
think
say
a kid that caught a body was false claiming?
Hold on, why is he false flagging though?
I think he grew up in the area. He's from the area.
Okay.
And I think that just because he was from the area, he just was like, oh yeah, I'm YSL or whatever, and running with people. But I feel like he was false flagging. I mean,
why you think he was false? What picture or anything they got on him that they showed in the trial looked like that boy was a false flagger?
The conversation with him and SlimeLife Shorty, where they was going back and forth asking him who stamped him in, and then he naming somebody who been in jail for 6 years, and the boy was 15 at the time. So that would have mean he got stamped in when he was 9 or something like that. Come on now, it just sounded like he was just saying whatever to say that he was down with them, but it didn't really sound like he really was put on. If you follow like what the communications were that they were presenting.
Lil Rod official. Tick already said he was official. You've been watching it since day one, right?
Who said?
Tick.
He said Little
Slug.
Rod was official. I seen
Yes.
Tick testify, but I don't remember.
When she said who is all YSL members, he said all of them. You don't remember him saying that? And then she said name them.
Been so long
He said
ago,
Quay, the other Quay, Rod. You don't remember him doing that?
It's been so long since Tick testified.
Look
with
at
his gray
Tick's
hair.
look at Tick's testimony. He most definitely identified Rod as one of the members. Everybody that got on stand and identified everybody already. If they ain't did nothing else, they identified members.
But that's not true because a lot of the people will identify only the people that they know. I haven't heard many people identify Lil Rod like at all. Most of the people who get on the stand be like, I know who Young Thug is. I know who this person is. And they'll say like one person or two people or like this person or that person. But I don't remember Tick saying Little Rod.
You don't remember when she said when she asked him to identify the members? You don't think Tick got asked to identify them boys?
No, they all have been asked to identify people, but certain people have only been identifying certain people that they know. Like there's been a lot of people who get on the stand and be like, oh, I don't know this person. I don't know him. I don't know him. Oh yeah, I know Shannon, or you know what I mean? Like they haven't, like a lot of the people haven't been saying that they know all of them.
That's because some of them was in jail for a while.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like they haven't all been saying, oh, all of these people are YSL, is what I'm saying.
I don't think it matters if he knows all of them to the state. Long as they could paint the picture that he was affiliated and he knows some prominent members that they showed through evidence. They showed that he knows SlimeLife Shorty. They showed that Shannon knows him. They showed that Lil D knows him, Garlington. He spoke about talking to Dolly. They didn't show that he know Dolly, but he spoke of her. He definitely knows them. Maybe all of them don't know him, but he was definitely there.
Yeah, I believe that they were using SlimeLife Shorty to link Little Rod to YSL. Without SlimeLife Shorty, I don't believe that they really had a big link to prove that he was actually YSL. I think that was SlimeLife Shorty key role in today's testimony.
I think the judge threw out the overt acts of him, Christian Eppinger, and is it Damon Blaylock? Like they did something when they was in jail, like they tried to stab somebody or something.
Say that again?
I think it's an overt act on the paperwork, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the judge didn't allow it in. But the overt act was Lil Rod, Christian Eppinger, and I think it's Blaylock, if I'm not mistaken. It's either Blaylock or BB. That while they was in jail, they tried to stab somebody or something. I would have to read it, but basically it looks the way that the state is theorizing that once Lil Rod caught that body, his status in the gang went up. That's what they trying to say.
Well, that's what they're trying to theorize, yeah.
So you really don't think Lil Rod is a YSL member?
I feel like he was false flagging, little degenerate trying to be down.
And they allowed it, and they ain't nobody. Come on, Tick already said he was official. Tick most definitely said he was official.
Let me go. Let's pull it up.
You have to pull that back up. Tick most. She said, you don't remember? Love said, "Who all members of YSL in here?" He said, "All of them." And then she says, start naming them. He said, Quay, the other Quay, Rod. You don't remember that?
The only person I can remember saying that they knew him was Moontoon. I can't really remember everybody else.
Because Tick was the first one to take the stand. Tick the first one to take the stand. So yeah, it's been a long time ago, but I rewatch some of their testimonies just to see, like, yeah, let me see what they was talking about. Then I'd be like, okay, bro was lying about that. But yeah, they all members though. They ain't none of them in that courtroom false flagging. You ain't about to be sitting on no trial with no and you ain't official. And you posting YSL, you screaming, and you in jail throwing up YSL and breasts and all, but he younger. So he gonna be with the younger group of the members. You get what I'm saying? He ain't gonna be with the older guys, like Moon Tunk and them. They the older set. He gonna be with the younger set, Wooney Lee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Them guys that's young, Briss, them guys is in their 20s. You see what I'm saying? He gonna be around them more so than that's why Wooney and them starting to come in now. He too young to be putting him with Moon Tunk. Moon Tunk know him though, that's for sure.
Hey, Neek, did you actually read Wooney's whole plea deal agreement? Like,
no, I was trying to pull it up. I was trying to pull it up before I got on stream. I was only able to see that he pled and he got 10 years and 1 year commuted in the next the 9 years probation, and then that Judge Glanville said that 2 years he would clear it if he got a college.
If he go to college, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't see the actual plea deal. Do you have it? Can you send it to me?
I don't have the actual paperwork, but I seen it on somebody's page. I seen a dude, it's a streamer named eBay Films. He actually just did a stream earlier about it. In the beginning of his film, he actually just went to the actual statements. I never actually tried to find the paperwork myself, but it probably wouldn't be hard to find.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't go into the court records and all that. I was just trying to find them on Google real quick before the stream, but yeah. So you say they all guilty.
Count one, conspiracy to listen. It ain't Rico. See, I think like even when I was thinking like, damn, they caught the Rico. Nah, they got conspiracy to violate the Rico. It's like y'all thought about it. You get what I'm saying? That's how easy conspiracy is. You thought about it. All the stuff y'all doing. Yeah, it looked like a conspiracy situation. You don't think it looked like conspiracy? This lie, that truth, this lie, that truth, this lie. And it's all mixed in one pot.
Clearly they was involved in stuff, but I'm saying ignore count one. Who else do you feel like is guilty of what?
Okay, but look, ignore count one, right? All the other counts, them boys been charged with already.
They haven't been charged for Nuts murder. They haven't been charged for
Yes, Yak Gotti got murdered. They got how many murder counts do Yak Gotti got? 2?
Yeah.
You mean they haven't been convicted of the murder?
But Yak Gotti got 2 murder counts, right?
For this trial. Not prior.
One of them murder counts is on that Donovan Thomas situation.
He got released though, and then he didn't get convicted of it. They let him go.
Oh, okay, well check this out. They're gonna convict him of it at the end of this.
Okay.
I think Yak Gotti gonna catch that. I think Yak Gotti gonna catch that murder charge. Anybody that was involved or whatever, like it's 4 of them. One of them still on the run. Cobb's still on the run. They ain't even got Cobb.
He in DR somewhere.
Yeah, he missing. So it was. They got 3. They got 3 of them, but they ain't got the 4th one. He on the run.
Which of the 6 defendants is guilty of what else?
I think the Quay that's sitting with the fathers. He guilty of all that action he got on his.
He got the most charges out of everybody.
Yeah, and that's a lot of reckless. But the one that's sitting in the back. What's the other Quay? I think he
getting his mama and sister locked up. What?
Yeah, see what I'm saying? That's crazy. They still doing stuff. Why they on trial? Now they can't be. They ain't charging them.
This case.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. You talking about when his mom, they try to smuggle something in?
I'm saying you only know that because you watch the news, but I'm saying what has been presented in this case that hasn't been presented.
I don't think they got the Quay like that yet, right? I don't think they own him yet.
They've mentioned him like doing high speed chase and certain things, but
yeah, I don't think they own his story yet. They ain't got the Quay yet because you're right. I ain't seen them father and son get up there and really. So they ain't even got to his timeline yet.
So far with what's been shown, who do you think is guilty of what so far?
I think so far, Yak Gotti is guilty of murder.
Damn. Just make Yak a murderer.
Shannon guilty of murder. The one in the back that's sitting next to Shannon with his hair up, he got the glasses, the other Quay with the dreads. I think he guilty. I think
for Nichols yet.
He gonna get Nick. He gonna get found guilty of murder.
Not what he gonna get found guilty of. They haven't got to his storyline yet. Stay focused on what they've shown so far.
What they shown so far, I think they're guilty of all of it.
Oh my God, you ain't watching every day.
I mean, is watching it. I mean,
not watching every day. You
ain't what part of innocent is they on what charge? What charge you think they innocent on?
You know what it is, Neek? It's kind of hard to say what they guilty of unless you actually looking at all the charges. They got so many different charges. Shit, we can only think of the main ones. We know the murder is the biggest one. We know count one is the biggest one. They got so many. Unless you got that 88-page document in front of you to know, you can't just say off the back what they're guilty of or what they're not guilty of. Most of them cases, they did time for already.
Yeah, they already right. Except I'm telling you, the murders. I highly strongly believe that they was out there shooting stuff. They was doing that. And these boys ain't made up, man. I don't know why people might think like, oh man, they ain't real. They for real out there.
Right.
I mean, it might not look like the average traditional gang to people, but man, it's 2024, man. Hey, listen. Hey, people group up, man. They start calling themselves things, man. Once they start doing that and running wild and whatever, it's a gang. And I just think all the charges that they got, I think they're guilty of it, man. I really think that they guilty of each one of them charges, and you can tell it in their face they guilty of that shit.
Damn, that's kind of
ain't none of them boys. Man, listen, I'm from the neighborhood. I know how it go, man. Listen, I get it, but being a young, I tell you what. If you remove Young Thug out of this, if you take him out of it, you know how fast them boys would be sent up the road right now? If this was going on without Young Thug, they'd be sent up the road real fast, every last one of them. But being that they got a $10 or $20 million guy sitting in the middle, it's going to be a slow situation. It's going to be a hard situation. Listen, that's a lot of money to be trying to take down. That's why he got the defense he got. That kept him out of the trouble that he would have been in anyway. If he ain't had that money, he'd have been locked up.
I mean, he is
locked
up.
But his money kept him out of a lot of situations. He done even told on people about stuff. You don't remember when Brian was like, I don't want that to come in? When he was talking about what Young Thug done told on somebody about. So they all done told on somebody. So you get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, ain't none of them in there, they ain't gave no statement to incriminate somebody or they selves. Man, them boys wet.
All right, well, we're going to end on that note. Nobody else was bold enough to click the link. I appreciate you, Knockout Kid and Dose Double.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all for coming on.
I
Well,
appreciate you.
it was good talking to you, man. You know,
I see you in the
we gonna
chat.
be ready tomorrow. Just waiting for any type of information to see what happens.
All right.
It's a roller coaster ride for sure.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Yeah, it's a whole lot. I'm curious to see what happens tomorrow. Do I think that she'll grant a mistrial? It's possible. Do I think that she just performative like always? Possible. Do I think that she was really entertaining and possibly wanting to grant a mistrial? I think so. But I think that one of her bosses called her up like, hold up, little shorty, calm your ass down. And so I think that's what prompted her to get really, 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 really mad and say, you know what? Let me just.
Hey, what? Hey, look, I ain't watch it. Look, I ain't watch it at the end. So what did she say at the total end?
That
Because I didn't watch.
They're done for the day.
She just said we done for the day.
They excused the jury, and then she said that they were done for the day.
But she got to go think about it.
She gotta go drink a couple shots of whiskey and smoke her cigarettes and come back.
Yeah. They stressing that lady out. Hey, look, she a brunette up there. Watch her hair be gray at the end of this. She's stressed out up there.
But we gonna see what's going on. I'll catch y'all later though.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you.
And make sure y'all come through here again.
For sure. I'm about to subscribe and everything.
All right. All right, y'all. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Hopefully y'all are not gonna be scared to click the link. You could have still clicked the link with your kids running in the background. We parents around here. Okay, we understand the baby kids be running and yelling and all that. But I still wanted to hear your perspective. Maybe we can get you on the line tomorrow when they are at school and we'll talk about it again. Jay says she got to deliberate with the bosses. Yeah, she most definitely got to run this by her bosses for sure. She most definitely got to run this by her bosses. And I think that she was really, 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 really ready to give it to them. And then she remembered, I ain't the final say. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, and I'll catch y'all later. If she does not declare a mistrial tomorrow, I'm going to continue to think that everything she do is performative. Like, I'm not going to take nothing she says serious at all for the rest of the trial. Like, if she come back and then she be like, okay, I'm not going to grant it, which is possible, and you know, she probably will do that. I'm not going to take nothing she say serious, because at that point, it will show that all of her outrage is performative. So we'll see what happens.